November comes through and heats up the fall. With House of Chiron, and I am here to make the language of astrology digestible for all of y'all. Not only am I your favorite astrologer, but I am also your favorite Reiki master, as well as your community activist, your mental health professional, all of the things. So with that being said, I use Western whole sign astrology for my interpretations and my general readings. So if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you will not miss a beat. You won't miss me uploading anything just like this video, okay? Now, if you are returning, hey, welcome back, welcome home, all the good things. I know I'm a little late with the November forecast, but life has been lifing. We had those eclipses and it's just been real, okay? So with that being said, let's just get right on into the November astrology forecast, okay? We are almost done with 2023. It just seemed like it started yesterday, but whatever, it's fine. So as November unfolds, it's going to be a very intense and, like I said, heated month ahead, okay? What's going to be highlighted this month is Saturn and how it plays a role in a lot of the transits that's coming up, especially because it stations to move direct the very first week of November, okay? So with that being said, let's just dive right on into Saturn stationing direct at 0 degrees on November 4th, and it will remain direct in Pisces until June 29th of 2024. So after a hiatus of about 4.5 months or so, Saturn is set to resume its forward motion while it is going through the sign of Pisces, okay? So it's been retrograde since this past summer, and now it's moving forward. And, Saturn's presence in Pisces is a little different, right? Because Saturn is about things that are tangible. That's about, reality, things that you can hold, that is long term. Whereas Pisces, it brings, a different flavor. So this energy is a little bit paradoxical, right? So it's a weird combination. It's kind of like mixing oil and water together, because Saturn usually deals with practical side of life, whereas Pisces is all about dreams and imagination. So with Saturn being in Pisces, we're on a mission to blend these two things, right? And it's two different worlds coming together in order to coming together to make some type of shape, in order to make our most treasured and imaginative dreams come true, right? So it's kind of like saying dreams can come true, but you got to do this. You got to, stand the test of time, right? So the task at hand when it comes to this energy is to fuse the two seemingly different worlds, and have like the mission to breathe structure and substance into our imagination, into the things that we are aspiring to do, achieving our goals and whatnot. So like I was saying, it's really just a time with Saturn being in Pisces. Now it's moving direct. We're going to have that stagnant feeling kind of lifting up. And it's time that we can actually make those wild dreams come true. And of course, because Saturn is in play here, we have to pass a test, right? There's always a catch to it when it comes to Saturn. Like I say, I call it Big Daddy Saturn, because Saturn likes to come through with the test and things and tell us like, hey, do this in order to receive that. And if you do this, it provides you long-term results. It gives you that longevity. So Saturn always puts us through the test. And, the dreamy realm of Pisces, it's about setting those clear boundaries, because Pisces is boundless, and Saturn represents boundaries. So where we've let things slide, where we have been not necessarily sticking to our goals, not having boundaries with ourselves and structure and discipline and order, even when it comes to our emotions and things like that, being all over the place, we're going to be moving forward in the lessons that we have learned and the tests that we have been going through in the last 4.5 months. Now we have some forward movement. All right. So moving on, Venus enters Libra. All right. So Venus will be in the sign of Libra from November 8th of this year until December 4th. And, it's moving home, right? So in the current Venus and Libra phase, we're going to be kind of like rekindling our dedication to others and infusing our relationships with a very vivid and artistic sense of romance, right? Because Venus is the ruler of art and beauty and romance and all those things. And Venus also is the ruler of Libra. So when Venus is in the sign of Libra, it feels good. It feels great. Venus journey through Libra is going to stand out as a pleasant experience, very delightful, I guess you can say, especially because, think about what we've come from, where Venus has gone through all these challenges, retrograding through Leo and then a cycle through Virgo. And Venus being in the sign of Virgo is at fall. So it's a very tough spot for Venus to be in. And so with Venus now moving into its home sign, where it's, graced with this appreciation for beauty and harmony and balance and, art and all the things that we enjoy, especially within our relationships, because Libra rules partnerships and marriage and diplomacy and commitments, and also our finances. So we're going to have some favorable outcomes regarding these areas of our life. Now, also, Libra is very diplomatic. So it rules diplomacy. So fairness, order, harmony, that balance makes sense. So in its approach to certain things, this transit is going to kind of pave the way for us to negotiate better, make more fair judgments on things, create balance and harmony where there has been none. And just kind of recognizing, where those things need to kind of take the lead. Now, it's also, important to note that, Venus's journey through Libra is going to still come with its own set of challenges. Although it's at home, it still is going to be making a conjunction with the South Node. As we remember, the nodes move from Scorpio and Taurus into Aries and Libra. So the South Node is in the sign of Libra and is going to make a conjunction to the South Node while it's going through this transit. And also, once it enters into Libra, is going to be making a square to Pluto. So this could really resurrect past relationships. It could bring up past financial issues that we thought were long resolved. It might, prompt us to addressing any legal matters or any, past due lingering issues that, we've either swept under the rug or just weren't aware of, right? So keep that in mind. Now, moving forward, we have Mercury entering into Sagittarius. This happens on November 10th until December 1st of 2023. And so with Mercury, it is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. It is very much so about, information and transportation, thoughts. It's our thought process. It rules our brains, our nervous system, things of that nature. So when it enters into Sagittarius, keep in mind, Sagittarius is a fire sign. Right. So we're going to be embarking on a journey that is about those Sagittarius themes, right? Which is about exploration and adventure, inviting or more so infusing optimism and vitality into our mindsets as well as our plans and our day-to-day, activities. Now, it's essential to recognize that while Mercury is in Sagittarius, it's going to be very much so, positive communication and optimism and whatnot, but it also is not the most meticulous transit, right? So it kind of oversees or overlooks the details of things when it's in Sagittarius, because, Mercury, when it's in this sign, it's a fire sign. It's not necessarily in its element. And, it's a sign of the archer. So it could be aiming for a goal. It could be seeing the overall picture, but in essence, it could also be missing those fine details that are necessary. And where our thoughts or our vision, right, is there, it might go on, like be expanded. It might, we might have expansive thoughts and, seeing things on from a broader perspective. However, we can become entangled and things might not necessarily be conveyed clearly. So that includes our communication, that includes what we're seeing, right? So this transit has true potential, in its ability to, if we want to, if we decide to use it as a tool for introspection and visualization, we can do that, to see the bigger picture of things, gain deeper understanding or purpose behind our goals, our aspirations, objectives, things like that. Now, also alternatively, like I said, it's in Sagittarius. Now, it Mercury rules both mutable signs, Virgo and Gemini. However, we are still in a mutable energy when it's in Sagittarius. It's just a mutable fire energy. So it's different in its expression. It's different in how it goes about doing things. And Mercury enters into Sagittarius and it immediately begins to square Saturn that recently stationed direct, which is in Pisces. So this is going to, anytime you have Mercury squaring any like Pisces or Neptune energy, it could, kind of alter how you are seeing things, like your perceptions might not be what it is. So with it being in Saturn and Pisces, it might prompt like a short-lived period of skepticism, pessimistic kind of energy surrounding your goals. It's not necessarily something that could last long, but there might be a moment, a brief moment of us like just really not necessarily believing that we can achieve the thing that we're trying to go after, or questioning our purpose, why we are doing to do the thing, or why we're doing the thing that we're doing, that kind of thing. So yeah, so once again, like I said, Saturn is going to be making some challenges per usual, and emphasizing just the importance of approaching matters with a very grounded, long-term point of view. Even though we're entering into Sagittarius season during this time as well, it's going to be heightening our spirits, but also kind of like get grounded, be practical kind of energy, kind of sobering, if I may add that, kind of like sobering us up from being in the clouds. All right, so now I'm going to briefly talk about this new moon that happens at 20 degrees Scorpio. I'm only going to briefly discuss it because I'm going to create a whole new video that goes into deep detail on the new moon in Scorpio, as well as provide readings for all 12 signs in that video. But in this video, we're going to talk about it happening on November 13th at 3:27 a.m. Central Time. All right, and like I always tell y'all, new moons are a time to set new intentions. This is not an eclipse. We're done with the eclipses being in Scorpio and Taurus. So this is a normal new moon in Scorpio. And it's a wonderful time to set those intentions for the path ahead. Now, this new moon is happening in the sign of Scorpio, which is also co-ruled by Mars and Pluto. So like in traditional astrology is ruled by Mars, and modern astrology is also ruled by Pluto. And so with Mars currently being in an almost exact conjunction with this new moon, and Pluto is moving through the last degrees of Capricorn before it re-enters into Aquarius for the next 20 years, this moon is going to really accentuate the Scorpio's ability to transform and regenerate, but also presenting a opportunity to act swiftly on the things that we desire and our passions, and do so from a practical standpoint, right? With that Saturn energy, not Saturn, excuse me, Pluto and Capricorn energy. Now Mars is like giving us that ability to have that action to go after it, being that it's at home in Scorpio. All right, now this lunar phase is going to be showing some events that spotlight the Scorpio's abilities to be kind of transformative and whatnot, and really embrace that Phoenix rising from the ashes vibe. Now, also, like I said, we can act swiftly on things that we're passionate about, as well as being shown about like some hidden desires that we've had. Now, the new moon also, because it's aligned with Mars, which is the ruler of Scorpio, and it is in connection with Pluto that's in Capricorn, we are going to be tapping into our inner strength and our determination, using this energy for that, right? Because that Pluto energy is all about determination and devotion and being passionate, and then and then that Mars energy being at home, it's just even more so of that. So we're going to feel fired up, to kind of like blaze through any obstacles. So we can think of this like a river carving its way through solid rock, clearing out any obstacles standing between us and the realization of like what we desire, our deepest desires, and the things that we really want for our life. Now, the new moon also engages in, some oppositions with Uranus and Mars and Uranus going to be making some things, and we'll discuss that in the new moon video and kind of go into detail with that. And then I'll give you readings for all 12 signs. But ultimately, this new moon is about setting our intentions and doing so from a passionate and very practical standpoint, allowing the transformation to come, allowing this new moon and the intentions that we set with it to transform the life into bringing forth the passions that we want. Okay. Now, moving on, we have the sun is going to be making a conjunction to Mars at 25 degrees Scorpio on November 17th. So this is shortly after we have that new moon. This happens once every 2 years or so, right? Like 2.2 years, something like that. So when the sun and Mars come into this conjunction, it indicates a new beginning of our focus, our goals, and our initiatives. So people might be exhibiting like some combative issues or aggression during this time because it's in Scorpio and it's the sun and Mars. So it's all this fire energy and this really deep, passionate, devoted water sign of Scorpio, right? So emotions might be flying high. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Now, I said actions and initiatives could feel a little overwhelming, but it's also a very powerful time for us to be ambitious. Use this energy for things that can be highly motivating. Okay, so from November 17th, when this conjunction happens, for a little while afterwards, we're going to be feeling this energy, and it's a potent alignment that's going to help us create fiery, passionate, and that motivating energy, kind of like a boost of rocket fuel, right? And charging us up so we can kind of like go after whatever. Now, we have to be mindful that because this energy is so intense, that we might feel burnout if we are not managing it properly, okay? So keep that in mind. And depending on where this is happening in your chart, in your life, wherever Scorpio is, this combination can either energize you or it can completely deplete you. So I would say if you want to use it for, gaining that focus and that determination and that devotion to achieving a goal, setting out a plan, putting the energy behind that, or just really just go to the gym, go for a run, get the physical energy out, right? Doing something like that can also help you combat like the aggressive and, combative energy that it naturally comes with. Okay, so now Mars also is known for its energy, but it's going to be like that short-lived intensity. So pay attention to your body, listen to your body. If your body says take a break, okay? Because it's temporary energy. Now, also, like I said, the sun and Mars in Scorpio can inspire us like to dive deep and to shed light on things that are holding us back and, getting beneath the layers of things and bringing it up to the surface, bringing it into illumination, shining a light on it, and, eliminating what needs to be eliminated, but also initiating what needs to be initiated. Okay. So now, after that, we have the start of Sagittarius season with the sun entering into Sagittarius from November 22nd until December 21st. So it is the holly jolly season, right? It's all the good things, right? So sun moves into Sagittarius, and this is a change to turn things from, to a positive tone, right? Positive change and more optimism. That's going to be our focus. So wherever the sun is moving into your chart, wherever Saturn, whatever house Sagittarius occupies, is where mostly your focus is going to be, where your goals are going to be you're trying to obtain these certain goals in this area of your chart. Also, like the sun energy represents like your career or things of that nature. So this could also kind of give you an idea of how these areas are going to be affected. Okay, so Sagittarians that are born, during this time, they're known for being adventurous and free spirited and whatnot, always needing to travel, needing to have a plane ticket or trip planned to go somewhere. So this energy is going to be really kicking up, of course, the holiday season. So we're going to be seeing a lot of traveling this time. Very on brand for Sagittarius. But also the season begins with a challenging aspect to guess who? Saturn. It's a square to Saturn. And this might bring a dose of seriousness and having you to focus on your responsibilities, which can, when we have to focus on responsibilities, it dampens our spirits. We just don't want to focus on, the serious things in life, especially during the time we're supposed to be enjoying ourselves and hanging out with our family and friends and whatnot. So, but it's crucial to understand that these moments of challenge that are coming from Saturn are like reality checks that help us to become more determined in order to achieve the goals that we set, in order to fulfill these responsibilities that we have. So we might feel a little heavy at first, but the phase, during Sagittarius season is going to kind of be like a stepping stone so we can kind of move forward to growth and, personal accomplishments. All right. Now, after that, we have Mars entering into Sagittarius, and this happens from November 24th until January 4th of 2024. So these 6 weeks are going to be important because Mars is a Sagittarius, so Mars is in a fire sign and it feels good, right? So it has a strong desire to achieve big things, right? So those big dreams and those big things and those aspirations that we have and the optimism that we have are going to have this being backed up in a positive light from Mars, right? So making a positive impact on the world, bringing out our competitive spirits also, also wanting to enjoy and feel a zest for life and having that idealistic drive. And we become more adventurous and crave new experiences while we are going through this Mars and Sagittarius transit. But we're also going to be seeking our sovereignty, right? Independence and freedom. And what does that look like? And it's going to be showing us where we are relinquishing our independence, our sovereignty, our freedom, and where we need to embrace that more and take initiative on that. Now, Mars is in the sign that makes us passionate about our beliefs and our values. And it often leads us to support like social or moral causes. So if you are involved in like a nonprofit or something of that nature, this is a wonderful time to, give back. This is why, like, let's do, you see people doing like, community drives during Christmas time, or, giving gifts to charity causes, things like that. So right when Mars enters into Sagittarius, guess what it's going to do? Make a square to Saturn and Pisces. So this also could mean that we're going to have some setbacks and some obstacles that could come up during this time. And it's not the best time to take major risks when we have that square energy to Pisces, Saturn and Pisces. So even if you have the inspiration to go out and do something risky, because, that's the Sagittarius way, and that's also the very Martian Mars way of doing stuff, just kind of be aware that it's not the ideal time to take risks. Okay. Now, moving on towards the end of the month, we are having the full moon at 4 degrees Gemini happening on November 27th at 3:16 a.m. Central Time. So in the wee hours of the morning, the month is going to be concluding with a bittersweet Gemini full moon, I can say. So this moon is going to be a mixed bag of cosmic energy with a lot happening around it. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm going to also have a video on this one going into detail and also give readings for all 12 signs. But like I always tell y'all, full moons are like a grand finale for every month. It wraps up things. It's time for endings. It's a time for closure. It tells you, kind of give you an idea of the things that you've accomplished over the last 6 months. And if there's things that you want to release or let go of in your life, this is the moment for you to do so. Let the universe help you with these intentions to release. Okay. Now it's going to be a blended energy with this full moon. It's an opportunity to kind of say like toodles, bye, bid farewell to things that cause confusion and uncertainty and self-doubt and make you just overthink. But also it's a perfect time for you to shift your focus to boost your confidence and your certainty, right? Your absolution. So normally, like I say, with Geminis, because I am a Gemini, it's, us, we are, kind of like all over the place. We could be the life of the party. We could be fun and all that good stuff. And we're chatty, but this full moon is going to be kind of like low key with it, for various reasons, right? So we have several different aspects happening with this. So this full moon is going to go head to head with Mars and squares off with Saturn. And so this is going to be kind of like adding to that energy. But like I said, stay tuned. I'll be coming out with a video about it and also giving you readings for all 12 signs. So you'll know exactly what you are releasing with this Gemini full moon, as well as what to expect moving forward. Okay. So now, that is all that I have for this month's energy. I hope that you have a wonderful November. Happy solar return to all of you Sagittarius out there. I lost it for a moment. So happy solar return to all of you Sagittarius out there. And I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope that you have a wonderful month ahead. And we are moving on to wrapping up 2023, y'all. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to close you out without doing our dice roll and also having some quick announcements. So first, before we dive into the dice roll, just quick announcements. We do have our Astro and Afros and our Cosmically Locked shirt line, as well as our House of Chiron merch that is available on our website. Description box will have all that information. You also have the ability to download a free PDF cheat sheet that you can get from House of Chiron, made by yours truly. It gives you all of the details on, the astro lingo and the vocabulary that you need to follow along in these videos. Because I'll be spitting out some stuff. You probably be like, what? That free cheat sheet will help you understand what that is. Okay, so what else do we have? I think that's it. Oh, readings are still open. So I do readings. I do Reiki appointments also. So if you are needing some energy healing and some balance, hit me up for that. Information is found in the description box. But if you also would like a natal chart reading, I have that available. I have 30-minute and 60-minute slots. Can't speak. The November calendar is now open. So book your appointments, first come, first serve. I only have a certain amount that I do per month because I'm still in grad school, y'all. Okay. And I work full time. So yeah, I'm busy. So with that being said, let's get into our collective dice roll to see what this month lies ahead for us and what spirit has to say. Okay. All right. So we rolled the North Node in Virgo in the 7th house. So we are really leaning in towards creating new commitments, whether it's a commitment to our health, our daily routines, getting our schedules in order, finding new work, finding new purpose in the world, serving others and whatnot. And that's just kind of like where we're heading to, right? With the 7th house is about commitments and building partnerships and community and serving others. And the North Node is like, creating that destined and that purpose energy. Okay. And with that Virgo being here, Virgo is all about paying attention to the details and creating structure and creating a routine and creating a plan, so that's kind of the energy that we're moving into for the month of November. So building new commitments and serving others and whatnot, that's just very on point. All right. So with that being said, I hope y'all have a wonderful month ahead. I will talk to you very soon. Keep watch for the new moon reading as well as the full moon reading and all that good stuff.